In the heart of a quiet town stood Greenfield Grammar School, a place where dusty red earth clung to the shoes of students, and the scent of chalk and old books lingered in the air. The school bustled every weekday with chatter, ringing bells, and hurried footsteps. But the most vibrant moment of each day was not the morning lessons or the games after class, it was break time. Break time was when everyone gathered under the shade of the ancient mango tree near the school's main gate, where Mama Sade, the beloved food seller, set up her stall. Mama Sade was a cheerful, round-faced woman with a smile that could warm even the coldest day. Her stall was a paradise of smells: freshly fried puff-puff, golden brown meat pies, steaming plates of jollof rice, and cold zobo drinks that sparkled in the sun. The students adored her food, especially the female students, who seemed drawn to her like moths to a flame. She knew everyone's name, remembered their birthdays, and sometimes gave out free snacks to her favorites. Teachers loved her politeness, the principal appreciated her neatness, and the students loved her food. But no one knew Mama Sade's true secret, that behind her warm smile and kind eyes, she was a witch of ancient power. For over a decade, Mama Sade had been weaving her dark magic into her food. The first bite of her puff-puff seemed harmless. The second bite brought an irresistible craving. But the third bite sealed the eater's fate. Without their knowledge, the girls who took that third bite became hers, tied to her in a spiritual covenant they could neither see nor break. Mama Sade's magic gave these girls a sudden glow, made them more attractive, more confident, more daring. But it also drew them away from their dreams and studies, pushing them toward vanity, greed, and restless living. Her coven was growing in silence, and by the time this tale began, more than 2/3 of the senior girls in Greenfield Grammar School were under her influence. Her dark reign went on without trouble until the day the Ministry of Education transferred a new teacher to the school, a young woman named Miss Clara. Tall, elegant, and with a calm authority in her voice, she was brought in to teach English and literature. On her first day, she walked through the school gates with a smile that was gentle yet firm. From the moment she arrived, she noticed little things others overlooked: the strange loyalty the senior girls had for Mama Sade, the way many disappeared after break time, and the whispering circles that formed under the mango tree. Miss Clara had been raised by a praying grandmother, and she had the rare gift of spiritual discernment. While others saw a harmless food seller, she sensed something far darker beneath the surface. Mama Sade noticed her too. From the moment Miss Clara greeted her politely but without the eager warmth others showed, the witch knew this one was different. A week later, Mama Sade decided to draw her in. One bright afternoon, she prepared her most irresistible dish, a fragrant plate of fried rice, rich with spices, with fried plantains glistening in oil. She placed it in a clean plate and waited. When Miss Clara passed, Mama Sade called out, "Oh, my daughter. You have been working so hard. Come, take this. No payment. Just a welcome gift from me." Miss Clara smiled and accepted the plate out of courtesy, but as the steam rose to her face, a wave of unease washed over her. Her chest tightened, her fingers tingled. She set the plate down gently and said, "Thank you, Mama Sade, but I've already eaten." Their eyes met for a moment longer than polite conversation allowed, and Mama Sade saw something she had not seen in years, a spirit she could not easily bend. That night, Mama Sade decided to use another method. In her small smoky kitchen, lit only by a flickering oil lamp, she ground strange herbs into powder and muttered incantations. "If she will not eat willingly, she will eat in her dreams," she whispered, tossing the powder into the air. That night, Miss Clara dreamt she was standing on the assembly ground, alone, surrounded by hundreds of faceless students. Mama Sade appeared from the shadows, smiling sweetly, holding a tray of puff-puffs that dripped with a thick, black honey. She held one out. "Taste it, my daughter," she said. Miss Clara stepped back, but the faceless students closed in. Just as the puff-puff touched her lips in the dream, a loud bell rang, and she woke up, gasping. She knew at once, This was no ordinary food seller. The next day, Miss Clara went to the principal and suggested that the school hold a special prayer session for the students that Friday morning. The principal, weary and unaware of the deeper issues, agreed immediately. Word spread quickly, and by Friday, the entire school gathered under the open sky, the mango tree standing tall like a silent witness. Mama Sade stood nearby with her tray of puff-puffs, watching with a polite smile. Her eyes, however, never left Miss Clara. When the prayers began, Miss Clara's voice rose in song, soft at first, then steady and strong. The atmosphere began to change. A light breeze turned into a wind. Some students clapped, others swayed, but in the middle of it all, the senior girls under Mama Sade's control began to shift uneasily. One bit her lip, another clutched her stomach. Mama Sade's smile faded. She muttered under her breath, countering the prayers. The wind grew stronger, whipping dust into the air. Then, without warning, one of the senior girls screamed and dropped to her knees. Another followed, then another. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the crowd. "What's happening?" some whispered. Miss Clara did not stop singing. She began to speak over the gathering. "Every power holding these children captive, release them now." Mama Sade stepped forward, her tree crashing to the ground, puff-puffs rolling in the dirt. The girls began to weep. The air felt heavy. Miss Clara turned to face Mama Sade directly and said, "Your time is over." The wind roared. The mango's leaves thrashed violently though the sun shone brightly. From Mama Sade's shadow, something dark and twisting began to rise, a slender, snake-like form that hissed without a mouth. Students screamed, some running back toward their classrooms. Miss Clara's voice grew louder. She prayed with authority, her words cutting through the air like a blade. Mama Sade staggered backward, her hands clawing at her own head as if trying to stop a sound only she could hear. Then, with an ear-splitting cry that did not sound human, she fell to her knees. The dust swirled violently, and when it settled, Mama Sade was gone. Only her wrapper lay crumpled on the ground where she had stood. The senior girls blinked in confusion, as if waking from a long sleep. Some cried openly, others clung to their friends. The principal stood frozen, his mouth open.
What just happened?"
he whispered. Miss Clara turned to him and smiled. "Light doesn't need to explain itself. It only needs to shine." From that day on, the mango tree still gave shade, but no food seller ever set up there again. The girls returned to their studies, their strange cravings gone. And whenever a new teacher came to Greenfield Grammar School, the older staff would tell them the story of the woman who sold food under the mango tree, not as gossip, but as a warning that evil can hide in kindness, but it can never hide from the light.